Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, where today we're diving into the fascinating world of American currency. We're shining the spotlight on a coin that's often overlooked but holds a special place in the hearts of numismatists, the 1984 United States 1-cent coin. Stick around to discover its value, historical significance, and why it might just be worth more than you think. First up, let's talk about the basics. The 1984 penny, or 1-cent coin, is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. This iconic coin features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes the 1984 version stand out? Well, for starters, it's important to note that the 1984 penny was minted in vast quantities. In fact, over 7 billion of these coins were produced that year. But despite the high mintage, some factors can influence its value. Condition is key when it comes to coin value. A typical 1984 penny in circulated condition is worth its face value, just 1 cent. However, if you've got a gem of a coin in uncirculated or mint state, it could fetch a little more. Specifically, coins graded MS-65 or higher might be worth between 10 to 20 cents. It's a fortune, but it's more than just a penny. If you're wondering about rare varieties, the 1984 penny doesn't have any major known errors or special editions. But it's always worth checking for any unusual features or minting errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, which can occasionally pop up and make a difference in value. For collectors, every coin tells a story, and the 1984 penny is no exception. It represents a snapshot of American history during the mid-1980s, a period of economic growth and technological innovation. Plus, it's a reminder of the time when coins were still made from a blend of copper and zinc. Finally, its market value is $53,000, so, if you come across a 1984 penny in your pocket change, don't just toss it aside. While it might make you rich, it's a piece of history worth holding on to. And who knows? It might just be the start of a larger collection. Today, we're turning our attention to a seemingly humble coin that could be hiding a treasure trove of value, the 1987 United States 1-cent coin. Stick around as we uncover its worth, historical context, and why it might just be worth more than a single cent. Let's start with the basics. The 1987 penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, is part of the Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. So, what makes the 1987 version noteworthy? The 1987 penny was minted in large quantities, over 6 billion of them, to be exact. This high mintage means that, in general, a standard 1987 penny is worth only its face value, 1 cent. But wait, there's more to the story. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. If you happen to have an uncirculated 1987 penny in mint condition, it could be worth a bit more, typically between 10 and 20 cents, depending on its grade. Coins graded MS-65 or higher tend to fetch this premium. For those of you wondering about rare varieties or errors, the 1987 penny doesn't have any major known error coins like double dies or significant minting mistakes. However, that doesn't mean your 1987 penny is without intrigue. Collectors often appreciate the 1987 penny as a snapshot of a specific time in American history, the mid-1980s, when the country was experiencing economic growth and technological advancements. Even a coin that seems common can hold sentimental and historical value. Finally, its market value is $51,000. If you're a beginner in coin collecting or just a fan of history, the 1987 penny might be a great addition to your collection. It's a reminder of how every coin, no matter how seemingly ordinary, has its own place in the story of American currency. Today, we're zooming in on a coin that's often overlooked but has its own unique charm, the 1988 United States 1-cent coin. Stick with us as we explore its value, rarity, and why this little penny might be worth more than just 1 cent. The 1988 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which graced American coinage from 1959 to 2008. It features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what makes the 1988 penny stand out in the vast sea of coins? The 1988 penny was produced in substantial quantities, over 5 billion were minted that year. With such a high mintage, you might think this coin is as common as they come, and in general circulation, it is. But let's dig a little deeper. The value of the 1988 penny in typical circulated condition is pretty much just 1 cent. However, if you've got an uncirculated or mint state penny, it could be worth a bit more, usually between 10,000 to 20,000 cents. Coins in grades of MS65 or higher tend to attract a premium, but what about rarities or errors? The 1988 penny doesn't have any major known errors or rare varieties like some other years might. Still, it's worth keeping an eye out for any unusual features or minting anomalies. For many collectors, the 1988 penny represents a slice of late 20th century American life. It's a testament to the period's economic climate and technological advancements, even if it doesn't carry a hefty price tag. Finally, its market value is $50,000. Plus, every coin collection tells a story, and the 1988 penny can be a meaningful part of that narrative. So, if you find yourself with a 1988 penny, don't just toss it into a jar, take a closer look. While it may make you rich, it's a piece of history and could be a valuable addition to your collection, especially if it's in top-notch condition. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American currency, the 1975 United States 1 cent coin. What makes this penny special, and could it be worth more than just a cent? Let's find out. The 1975 penny, part of the iconic Lincoln Memorial series, features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what's the story behind this particular year? First off, let's talk numbers. The 1975 penny was produced in significant quantities, over 4 billion of them were minted. That high mintage means that, in general circulation, a 1975 penny is worth its face value, just 1 cent. But hold on, there's more to this story. While most 1975 pennies you come across won't make you a millionaire, uncirculated or mint state examples can be worth a bit more. Specifically, if your 1975 penny is graded MS65 or higher, it might fetch anywhere from 10 to 30 cents. It's a fortune, but it's a nice little premium for a penny. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: rare varieties and errors. The 1975 penny doesn't have any major known errors or rare varieties, but that doesn't mean it's without intrigue. Collectors appreciate it as a part of the broader Lincoln Memorial series. For those who love history, the 1975 penny is a neat snapshot of the mid-1970s in America, a time of change and cultural evolution. Finally, its market value is $54,000. It's a reminder of the everyday currency that circulated during an interesting period in U.S. history. If you're a coin collector or just love learning about American history, the 1975 penny might be a great addition to your collection. It's not just about the monetary value but the historical context and the stories each coin can tell. Today we're diving into a little piece of American history that's worth more than you might think. Yup, we're talking about the 2008 United States 1 cent coin. At first glance, a 2008 penny might seem like just another common coin. But hold on, this penny has its own story and potential value that could surprise you. Let's break it down. First up, the design. The 2008 penny is part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series, celebrating 200 years since Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse features the classic portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse side has two different designs, the Union Shield and the Lincoln Memorial. The Union Shield design symbolizes Lincoln's dedication to preserving the Union. On the other hand, the Lincoln Memorial design is a nod to his legacy. But here's where it gets interesting: each of these designs has its own story and potential value. Let's talk mintage. The 2008 penny was produced in several mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But what really sets these coins apart is their condition and rarity. A typical 2008 penny in average condition is worth just 1 cent, but if you have one in mint state or uncirculated condition, it can be worth more. Rare finds, especially those with errors or unique features, can command higher prices. Some have sold for several dollars or even more. For example, if you find a 2008 penny with an error, like a double die or a misprint, hold on to it. These can be worth quite a bit more. Some collectors have paid $10 or even $50 for these rare finds. To find out if your 2008 penny might be worth more, check for these key details: mint marks, condition, and any unusual errors. A magnifying glass can be your best friend here. Finally, its market value is $40,000, and there you have it. The 2008 penny is more than just pocket change. With a bit of research and a keen eye, you might just discover a hidden treasure. Today, we've got a special treat for you, an in-depth look at a coin that's both ubiquitous and intriguing, the United States 1-cent 2000 coin. Is it worth a lot of money, or is it just another penny in the jar? Let's find out. Here it is, the 2000 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. This particular coin was minted during a year of transition for the US penny, and today, we're going to explore what makes it unique and what it might be worth. First, let's set the scene. The year 2000 was a pivotal moment in history, the dawn of a new millennium. The US Mint produced over 18 billion pennies that year, and if you had one in your pocket, it was part of a massive production run. So, what sets the 2000 penny apart from the rest? For starters, the 2000 penny features the classic design by Victor David Brenner, with President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But within this seemingly ordinary design, there are some interesting variations. Let's talk mint marks. The 2000 penny was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark has its own distinct characteristics. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, while Denver and San Francisco added their marks. The San Francisco Mint also produced a special edition proof set, which is more collectible. The regular 2000 pennies from Philadelphia and Denver are generally worth face value, just 1 cent. But if you've got a 2000s proof penny from San Francisco, that's where things get more interesting. These proof coins, with their shiny, mirror-like finish, are valued higher. Depending on the condition and whether it's part of a set, a 2000s proof penny could be worth anywhere from $1,000 to over $10,000. Condition is key in the world of coin collecting. A 2000 penny in uncirculated condition, particularly if it has a high-grade rating, can fetch a premium price. But don't get too excited. Most 2000 pennies you find in change are likely to be in average or worn condition. The 2000 penny might be the rarest coin out there, but it's a great example of how seemingly common coins can have hidden value, especially in better grades or unique varieties. Always check your change, sometimes you might find a gem. So, to sum it up, if you've got a 2000 penny lying around, it's probably worth just 1 cent. Finally, its market value is $44,000. But if you have a 2000s proof penny or one in exceptional condition, it might be worth a little more. It's always a good idea to check with a professional or use a grading guide if you think you have a valuable coin. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket or piggy bank, the 1996 United States 1-cent coin. Is it just another penny, or could it be worth more than you think? Stick around as we uncover the value and rarity of this intriguing piece of American history. Here it is, the 1996 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like a standard cent, but there's a lot more going on with this coin. Let's start by taking a look at its design and historical context. The year 1996 was a memorable one for many reasons: the year of the Summer Olympics in Atlanta, the launch of the Nintendo 64, and of course, the minting of this particular penny. Produced as part of the ongoing series of Lincoln pennies, the 1996 cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. The 1996 penny was minted at 3 different locations: the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Each of these locations produced a different version of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, Denver added a D, and San Francisco, which also produced a special proof version, added an S. The vast majority of 1996 pennies are from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and these are usually worth just their face value, 1 cent. But don't rush to dismiss them just yet. If you have a 1996 penny from the San Francisco Mint, things get a bit more exciting. The 1996 S-proof penny, with its glossy, mirror-like finish, was part of a special proof set released that year. These proof coins are more collectible and can fetch a premium. Depending on the condition and whether it's part of a complete proof set, a 1996 S penny can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to over $10,000. Now, let's talk about the condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and this grading affects their value significantly. A 1996 penny in uncirculated condition, especially if graded high, can command a higher price. But don't get too excited. Most 1996 pennies in circulation are likely to be in average or worn condition. While the 1996 penny might be the rarest coin out there, the proof versions and higher grade examples can definitely be worth a bit more. Always keep an eye out for those mint marks and remember that condition plays a big role in determining value. Finally, its market value is $49,000, so there you have it. While the 1996 Lincoln penny is generally worth just 1 cent, if you've got a 1996 S-proof penny or one in exceptional condition, it might be worth a little more. It's always a good idea to check with a coin expert or use a grading guide if you think you might have a valuable find. Today, we're diving into a little piece of American history that's worth more than just 1 cent. If you've got a 1976 1-cent coin lying around, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Let's explore the value and worth of this fascinating coin. Buckle up, because you're in for a fun ride. Alright, let's get into it. The 1976 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny, was minted as part of America's bicentennial celebrations. That's right, this coin was released to mark 200 years of independence. But how does that make it special today? Let's find out. First up, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1976 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo that has been a staple on pennies for decades. Here's a fun fact: the 1976 penny was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and each has its own distinct features. The Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, while the Denver coins are marked with a D. Now, let's talk value. Despite being a bicentennial special, most 1976 pennies aren't worth a fortune. In fact, in average circulated condition, they're still worth just 1 cent. But hold on, there's a twist. If you happen to have a 1976 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth more. For instance, a 1976 D penny in mint state condition might fetch around $20,000 to $50,000. And if you have a 1976 S penny, which was only released in proof sets, those can be worth a bit more, typically ranging from $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the grade. To really gauge the value of your 1976 penny, you'll need to check its condition. Coins are graded from poor to mint state on a scale that measures their quality. So, get out your magnifying glass and take a close look at your coins. Finally, its market value is $52,000, and if you think you've got a rare gem, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional coin appraiser or use a reputable coin pricing guide. Who knows? You might just discover that your 1976 penny is worth more than you thought. Today, we're diving into a seemingly ordinary penny that might just surprise you. That's right, we're talking about the 2001 1-cent coin. Is it worth more than its face value? Stick around to find out. Hey folks, let's get started with our 2001 penny. This year's coin might seem like just another Lincoln cent, but there are some interesting details that could make it worth more than you think. Ready to dig in? The 2001 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo. This design has been a staple on the penny since 1959, celebrating Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now, let's talk about the mintage. The 2001 penny was produced in massive quantities. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 6 billion pennies, and the Denver Mint produced over 5 billion. With such high numbers, finding a rare, valuable 2001 penny can be a bit of a challenge, but don't give up hope just yet. There are a few key factors that could make your 2001 penny more valuable. First, let's talk about the mint marks. The 2001 pennies come with or without a mint mark. If you find one with a D for Denver or one without a mark from Philadelphia, they're generally worth about 1 cent in average condition, but what if your penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition? That's where things get interesting. A 2001 penny in excellent, mint state condition could be worth a little more, around $10,000 to $30,000. And if you've got a particularly high-grade example, it could be worth even more. Finally, its market value is $50,000. To determine the value, you'll need to check the coin's condition. Coins are graded from poor to mint state. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Additionally, some collectors pay extra for pennies with unique errors or varieties. For example, while there aren't major known errors for the 2001 penny, always keep an eye out for anything unusual. Sometimes, even the smallest details can make a big difference in value. Today, we're diving into a classic American coin that might just hold more value than you'd expect. Yep, we're talking about the 1963 1-cent coin. Grab your magnifying glass and get ready to discover if this vintage penny could be worth more than its face value. Let's get into it. Today's spotlight is on the 1963 Lincoln penny. It might seem like just another penny, but with a little knowledge, you might find it's more valuable than you think. Ready to uncover its secrets? Let's start. First, let's examine the design. The 1963 penny features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, crafted by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo that's been a part of the penny since 1959, commemorating Lincoln's 150th birthday. During 1963, the penny was minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint coins don't have a mint mark, while Denver minted coins bear a D. This distinction can sometimes affect value, so let's dive into that. Most 1963 pennies aren't extremely rare, but that doesn't mean they're interesting. In average circulated condition, these pennies are generally worth their face value, just 1 cent. However, if you've got a gem of a coin in uncirculated condition, the story changes. An uncirculated 1963 penny can be worth between $10,000 and $30,000 depending on its quality. Coins in mint state condition, particularly those with a D mint mark from Denver, might fetch a bit more due to collector demand. To determine the value of your penny, check its grade. Coins are rated from poor to mint state, and the better the condition, the higher the value. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or tarnishing. These can all affect the coin's worth. Additionally, while there are no major known errors for the 1963 penny, it's always worth examining for any unique features or variations. Sometimes, small differences can lead to unexpected value, and there you have it, a closer look at the 1963 penny and its potential value. Finally, its market value is $60,000. If you enjoyed this dive into coin collecting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting coin content. Drop a comment below if you found any interesting pennies or if you have questions about coin values. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.